They aren't mine.
Welcome to the gallery. Today's works aren't paintings, but rather they're scents.
Sun salutations, soul warriors. I want to start today's lesson off with a little food for thought. Distressed jeans. How did we get here? Now, let's get to the sort of elephant in the room, the problem of the day. If words are used and they proceed from ideas about art, then it is art and not literature. Numbers are not mathematics. Now, this is a quote from Sol LeWitt's essay entitled Sentences on Conceptual Art. Sol LeWitt was a conceptual artist from America, and he was around during the 1950s. It seems we're all having a bit of trouble with this one. Is it okay if we do it together? Okay, so if words are not literature, and numbers are not math, and I will say that Sol LeWitt later on in this essay stated that the essay was not art itself, but comments about art. So we have a thought and it's about art. Then we produce words. What precedes these numbers? That's what I want to know. I want to know. Can I speak to you alone for a second, please? Just you and me. The human brain is not a self-forming system, and I don't care what you say about it, it's true. You are this. You are a chip off of the old block. But not in the literal sense, because a chip off of the old block would just be a small and new block. But we can see this in a way that humans do, because that's what we are. That's the baby block, and this is the mommy block. Aww. I'm not opposed to that. I'm gonna be honest here. Sol LeWitt's logic is kind of starting to remind me of the old Chinese proverb. 3 men make a tiger. It means that if one idea is believed to be true in the minds of at least 3 people, that idea is then granted permission to enter into the physical world and become an entity alongside us. Say hello to your new neighbor in Consensus Reality Town. Interesting enough, it only took 2 people to make me. But I'm no tiger. CCIs. Cybernetic Computational Interfaces. They have existed alongside humans for as long as we can remember. In fact, I promise you that right at this very moment, there are CCIs interacting with the energy vortexes inside of you. It does not care about the material world. It happens while you sleep. People make phone calls, and the signal penetrates through you. But let's get back on topic here, because so if words are not literature and numbers are not math, and ideas about art somehow make things not things, I'm going to go ahead and say that thoughts about art equal X. So X plus words equals art. Correct? Yeah. X plus numbers equals art. Therefore, using systems of algebra, we can decide for ourselves that numbers and words are the same exact thing. Except English buffs in the room are going to want to come up here and be the teacher themselves, because everyone who knows English knows that words are made up of letters. And the letters are timed by a number. And it's whatever number you want. It's however many you want, however long you want your word to be. But even letters belong to a greater system, that is, the alphabet. And the alphabet, everyone knows, who knows English knows that it's 28 letters. And so it's A, B, C, E. But wait, that's a number! Hold up. So maybe letters are numbers. How about that? Let's go ahead and write that one down. Let's say it's true. So this cancels out all that. But still, even with this, letters equals numbers. There's only 28 letters. But there are infinite numbers in the universe. Have you ever even heard of pi? But for all this work, does paring down systems to their simplest form make them more genuine somehow? Even letters have to strictly abide to their own hierarchy. Let me show you something, and this will make a lot of sense. I have with me here a jar full of letters. In fact, it's every letter of the alphabet, 26. If I throw these all on the floor, that's not the alphabet anymore. Do you find this distracting to the lesson? Probably not, because this system equals 26. 26 is a number higher than the number of toes I have on my feet. Therefore, it overpowers this system and introduces a system that's greater. If I only leave one letter down here, you are going to be fascinated with the floor. This is a principle in the dramatic theater. You can't have one thing on the floor because it overpowers the subject of me. If I take this letter off the floor, you were all of a sudden drawn and captivated by me, the subject. There are two whiteboards and there is one of me. See the way that I dropped those letters on the floor really must have been the same kind of way that God dropped animals onto the earth for Adam. You see, in the beginning, God created Adam. He made a little guy that looked like him. He's a little different, but he made a little son for himself. And the first thing that God gave Adam was dominion over the animals. The second thing God gave Adam was language. Ergo, names. The naming of things took place. Second to dominion. Dominion, what is dominion? Well, it's numbers. That day, Adam must have looked at those animals differently than he ever had looked at anything before. He must have seen where each animal began, the fur on their nose to the very tip of their tail. He must have seen each animal as an individual being, and then he would have seen where the next one began. He was counting his animals. But in a similar vein, I'm wondering, do shepherds own the sheep that they herd? Or is that job given to a higher up guy? And the person who is the shepherd is just outsourced because he's somebody who knows more about sheep than the guy in charge. We may never know. It's the classic case of chicken or the egg. Man or woman, which came first? No one really knows. The only thing pure about you and I is our impurities, our shared origins in conquest and symbiosis. Jung referred to it as our collective unconscious. But for the sake of brevity, I will call it math. You are defined by your relationship to other living beings. So keep that in mind, and always remember to think about the thoughts that you're thinking. And think about those thoughts that you're thinking and how you think about them. Are they really Just you.